All right, hello everyone. Hello. Welcome back to the War Room. I've been doing a lot of live videos lately, trying to get better at them, because it seems easier just to post it straight to YouTube. So I've been doing that a lot. So I'm gonna do this review, kind of like a first timer, and kind of see how it's going. There, let me see. All right, I got my live up. All right, got my coffee. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about Mr. President. Yep, let me make sure I'm working here. Yep, we are live. Okay. Sorry about that. So, when this came out a couple of weeks ago, I got my copy, but I hurt my foot. I couldn't put weight on it, so I could not set this bad boy up. I didn't have the time to, and trust me, you do need time to set this thing up. This is a very large game. Okay, it's a gigantic game. It's two boards split down the middle, right about here. There, let me, right about here. So from this line over here, this is going to be your domestic. That's your domestic stuff, and then over here is your world. I'm not hearing much of my sounds here. Oh, yeah, that's because I am not on my headphones. What a dope. All right, let me make sure. Yeah, there we go. I can hear everything. I know you guys are getting my sound. Okay, let's go over this game, and I'm going to give you my best review that I can for it. I put in for this game at least a number of years ago. I would say about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 4. 3? I don't remember. It's been so long. I've had so many games since then. This is a very large game, which I have issues with. I'm going to explain that to you in a little bit. It's a beautiful game. It's a very well set up game. I like it. It gives you all the information you need. I mean, if you look right here, this is giving you the entire world scope. Okay? I'm a little confused, maybe just because of room. I mean, you got, so there, okay, so let's go, let's do something good. Let's do the Oreo cookie. Are you guys with me? We'll do the Oreo cookie. All right, so something good. The world view shows you everything you need to know, okay, which is really awesome. All right, something bad. There are tons and tons of chits and markers and stuff that can easily bounce off and can easily throw off your entire game if you're not watching it carefully. Okay, these are all chits that you can pick up and place. You get one of these little excuse me sheets, so you can put all the markers down here and stuff, so you can like set yourself up for the game, so you don't have to be looking for it. You have these little world markers here. The world markers allow you to see what's going on in Central South Asia, for example, the Middle East as another example, all your forces and things like that. So there is, even though it looks like a big, like somebody threw up a lot of information, it's actually quite easy to follow. The game is actually very well written. The turn sequence book, which is this one right here, and this is all you get for the TTS module, is very well written. It gives you everything you need to know to start playing the game. However, you do need a bunch of different charts. It comes with lots of charts. So if you're just downloading the TTS module, I'm afraid you're probably not going to get everything that you want to play this game. It's just impossible. There's charts for China, because China Russia acts, and they do stuff all over the world, and that book doesn't provide any information. So without the actual charts, this is kind of dead. It doesn't do anything for you. All right. Some of the things I thought were weird about the game, and there's a few things, is like, here's all your wars. This is also a separate like little sheet. It's like an 8x11 sheet. It's not a board. It's just a sheet. It's just one of those nice little boards. And so this is the war. And this is all your chits for all your stuff. But then you got the world stuff over here. This is one big board. It's supposed to be over here. But then you come over here, and you've got all the conflict stuff over here, right? So you got to look over here, you know, oh, wait, what's all strategic capabilities? You have to go from here to over here. And it's just a lot of moving around for me. Excuse me, Jesus. I'm dying. I'll be all right though. All right. So my current status on my board. Remember, the board splits here. This part is actually, if you turn it left, if you go counterclockwise, okay, a quarter turn, it's the short part is here, and it's going a long ways on my table just to fit. And this part here is kind of sitting right where it's at. I have to do that because I already have a game going on my table. So for me, it's a lot of walking around to figure out what's going on, which is why I talk about this. Because there are people who don't have a lot of table space. Now, I have a gigantic table. I just have to split this because I already have a game going, a large game going to be exact. So I was thinking to myself the other day, well, shit, if I'm in some small apartment, I don't have a gigantic table, right? And I have to do what I did. I have to put this one long ways this way, and this one here, like right here. Well, damn, that's a lot of moving around and trying to figure out what's going on in the world because they split up the information a lot. And it wouldn't matter if you put this sheet over here, you still have the world map. So I almost wondered if they should just you might as well just make this part of another board and put all of this, like here, this is your strategic capabilities. That's used in some cases. This is your conflict tracks, right? Put it all together. But that's whatever. That's probably just an opinion on my part. The board is well done. The pieces are GMT quality, so when you get them, they're very nice. Everything here in the TTS module is represented well. They just scanned everything over, which is very nice. These are for your strengths, for your wars. All right, those will go up and down over time. You have a bunch of chits, okay, which you'll need a lot of cups for. All right, which kind of raises another question. To me, if a game requires tons of cups, the last game I needed that required a lot of cups was Steel Wolves. All right, that was by Compass Games, a gigantic single-player Battle of the Atlantic game where you're sending out hundreds of different U-boats, and you needed tons of chits to pull from in order to get information. And I'm totally a fan of the chit pull system, but when you need tons of cups or some kind of something, why not put some cups in there? Get with a company, get some special plastic cups and just sell it. Just sell it. Why not? Just sell it in there. Give everybody what they need. The age of the old, red solo cup just to play a brand new game, I think it's getting kind of old. And this is no fault of Mr. President. This is a lot of games. A lot of people do this, so whatever. The ease of information which you play is very nice. As I mentioned before, the turn sequence walks you through everything. There is a governance manual which will give you all the other stuff in between. If you have a question about what exactly does relations with Congress do, there's a governance manual that will tell you exactly what it is. It has a great index system, so you'll be able to find out what that means. All right? Pending bills, party control in Congress, all of this can be found in books. You also have lots of information here, which I rarely use because the information is so easy to find in the book. Instead of just leaning over here and trying to figure out what's going on, I can find out pretty much everything I need. Okay? Scandals. All right? If you're not getting 15 indictments, or you're not falling down a whole bunch of Air Force One steps and speaking gibberish, like our last two great presidents here, you could be a great president too and not have any scandals, but they do occur from time to time. I had to put the joke in there, guys. Come on. I mean, come on. It's been a clown show for everybody for the last, 8 years now? Anyway, party relations, all of these, every single one of these charts will advance. They go up and down, left and right. However, they're going to affect your gameplay. All right? They're going to affect what you can or can't do. God, I'm still dying here. Oh, man. Sorry, guys. It's like 100 degrees out, and my allergies are just off the charts. All right. Pending bills. Here's your bipartisan cooperation. Just shows you how many bills you can introduce when that comes time for that. You're going to be introducing bills because you're going to be picking out random issues that the public wants, and then you're going to be able to select issues that you're going to work on. And so if you get these bills in and you can work on these issues by putting these bills through, well, then you get more points. It's towards your legacy and possibly be better than the predecessor presidents. Okay? Yeah, these different capabilities give you different bonuses depending on the situation. Okay? You don't want that to sit there for too long. You want cyber warfare to go up. You want to keep your strategic recon intel gathering up, you know? These are things, this shows you how much your forces are getting trained and how better they are compared to Russia and China. All right? Friends. Yes, you're going to be picking friends. You might have some really good friends that are also friends with the media. You might have some opponents that are also friends with the media. And this is going to affect your ability to get bipartisan cooperation, right? Some of these friends are radicals. All right? All right, you get a Maxine Waters or a Lauren Boebert in here somewhere, and then all of a sudden there's infighting, and this goes up and down, and that can affect how many bills you can put into play. So, no, it's really cool. I mention these people by name, not to just like incite anything from people, but like it makes you feel that way. It makes you feel like, wow, I could be a real jerk and work against the Democrats if I'm Republican, or if I'm Democrat and I want, there's no, and by the way, there's no political party here. I'm just saying, as an example, you can work against people or you can work with people. You can try to get a really, really good media relations, okay, and that's going to give you more stuff. Media slant towards negative outpouring, right? So when you get that scandal, guess what? You get a little more support from the wonderful liberal non-biased media here. And then this will also affect other things. Eventually, you'll have your homeland security go up. Your bipartisan levels will go up. It's really cool how it all works. It's a living system, and it all drives from, well, a couple of things. Chip pulling, but that chip pulling leads to this, and that is these cards. All right, these cards. These are cascading events. You got events. These are events. Cascading events, terrorism events, natural disasters, and exceptional White House resources. Okay? You're going to mix up these, and they're going to make 4 stacks. So one stack will go here, here, and then the one that you play with goes here. All right? That's what drives the game. You're going to pick a couple at the beginning. These will come up over time as you chip pull. And you will deal with situations as they come across. Some situations you can't do anything about. They're going to happen. They might be a natural disaster. They might be terrorism. Terrorist groups go in, they bomb something. Excuse me. But your actions afterwards can determine what happens later. So for example, you might pull a terrorism group, and now you got a U.S. Terrorism group here, level 1 in the U.S. Well, holy shit, right? This is your backyard, all right? But your actions could lead to information gathering on that group, locating that group, and eventually eradicating it. Okay? This domestic crisis, this level will determine many other things as well. But if it gets to here, it becomes domestic failure, and something major is going to happen. And that D10 mentions the book that you need, which you don't have in the TTS mod. You have to have the physical copy. But you roll on that, and it's going to tell you what you get. All right? And it may not be very good. All right? And as more issues start lingering, this goes down, and this makes it easier and easier for these to go up, and more issues, but more importantly, auto loss. All right, you get down here, that's a loss. If Russia gets a base in the Eurozone, and they get a bunch of influence all over the map, that's an auto loss. There's a bunch of ways to lose this game. So your actions are important. They do mean something in this game, which is really, really cool. All right? And that's what makes the game very immersive, because you as a president get to decide how to deal with those issues as they come. Now, some decisions might require that you have a really good working relationship with Congress. Okay? Some might require a better state of economy. All right? a lot of these decisions are going to affect your public approval over time. All right, and this is going to affect your legacy points. This is like how good you were stacked up to George Washington and everyone else. All right. Let's see. What else here? Yeah, China and Russia. Let's take a look at the Asia and Pacific. Let's take a look at the world monitor here, okay? Again, just kind of show you how awesome the information gathering is. So Asia and Pacific, you have a couple of pieces of information. You got regional stability, basically how well it's going to be before this regional crisis goes up. The lower it is, the easier for it to go up. Underneath it, I put this over here, is regional alignment with the United States, right? How well they'll work with you. Currently, it's in decent order. All right, you got the North Korea. This is South Korea. You can't see it, but our relationship is very close. We have heavy army presence there. Okay, China has influence in here, of course. Obviously, you got the North Koreans. A couple of terrorist groups here. Our Australian friends and Japanese friends were very close. Okay, down here is our military presence. If there's ever a war, these guys come into play. Okay, focus national intelligence. There's nothing here now, but you can focus your intelligence efforts into a particular region. I think up to a max of 2 or 3. I can't remember. But this will allow you to do more terrorist group hunting and stuff like that. It makes it easier for you to do that, and for wars too. It'll help you, give you some advantages against surprise. All right. Let's see. Then you have China, right? China, and you got Russia, all right? So these are not like the others. You don't affect them directly except through one way. As a presidential act, you can remove tensions. If there's tensions built up in their region, you can remove those. Tensions are think of it as a ticking time bomb. The more tensions that build up, the more something bad might happen. So here, let me just show you what a tension marker looks like. You flip it, there's going to be a number, or it might say no tension, it might say nothing at all. I wonder if there's any, I think there's 2, there's a 2 in here somewhere. Of course I got all ones here, no effect, there you go, no effect. And so over time, those tensions will be flipped, depending on actions in certain parts of the game. And then, you will have to deal with any problems when those tensions go up. It might change your posture. 2 is aggressive, 1 is not so aggressive. In the beginning of the game, and all the games I've played, China's kind of have a good relationship with you. It's a good trade partner. Russia does not. See, Russia has a 2 posture. And that usually means they're going to put more influence into more areas that you don't want them. They're going to be a little bit more on the aggressive side. Okay? Here, they're already trending anti-US as far as their relationships go. Okay? So, something to think about. Unstable states, rogue states, basically this shows you that this could go to a civil war at any time. Rogue states also, again, they can affect the way wars play out or what happens. We already have a war here in Central South Asia to start. All right, and as you see, that's let me go back. That's War 1, and it matches this one here, War 1. Okay, so it's the U.S. versus the Taliban in Asia. Central South Asia. And so right now it's a stalemate. Nothing's going on because we haven't really fought the war yet. The war hasn't really gone off. It is a ground-air war. All right, and that for some reason that does have different effects. I don't know. I haven't had any experience but combined air and ground. All right, these are our UN troops. You could add your own troops in there as well, but you have UN troops to start. Okay, over here you got your conflict tracks. All right, your conflict tracks shows you the general conflicts that are going on in the world. These are the famous issues that you know of. Excuse me again, guys. I'm so sorry. I have to really apologize. Allergies are terrible today. Obviously, India, China, India, Pakistan, Russia, NATO. Huh. Wah, wah, wah. Russia, Ukraine. Okay. Remember, this is from 2000 to 2020. So we didn't have that yet. Okay. China and Japan. U.S., Iran. This is the Gulf states and Saudi Arabia. Yeah, Saudi Arabia versus Iran. Israel and neighbors. Israel, Iran, that's always been an issue. These are issues that are never going away. They're usually cascading events. They'll come back over and over again. There'll be issues. You'll never see North Korea and South Korea united. But it doesn't mean you can't try to be friends with North Korea. You can try, but they're usually, you're not going to get there. All right, up here you got yourself your different focuses. You place these focus markers somewhere on here. You can focus on improving relations with Congress, economy. You do this once in a year, and then that's it. If a tension marker shows up, then you don't get to roll for any benefits if that comes up, which sucks. Let's see here. I think that's about it. And let's look at this here. Let's review this. This is your turn sequence chart. All right. Your turn sequence chart is very well done. It follows the turn sequence of the book. Okay, the book opens up. So wherever you're at here, just open up your book and it'll tell you exactly what to do. This is your entire chart. It starts from here, down, goes back up into like this little crisscrossing pattern. Okay, until you're completely done. And this is 1 year. Alright, this is your game turn track. This is 1 year. It's on year 1. Okay, some things you don't do on year 1. Some things you do on year 1. Some things you only do on activation phase 1 and 3 or 2 and 4. And the book tells you. So follow your book. It will tell you everything you need to know. Okay. Excuse me. Man. Woo! Alright. So, let's get to the actual meat and potatoes. So generally it's a really good game. I've actually enjoyed this game. It's almost like being part of a choose your own adventure book. It's truly a sandbox experience. Okay? Even if Middle East is going to complete dog shit, you don't have to do anything about it. You don't have to do anything about it. Events may cause you to jump in and do something, but like you, as you make decisions, you do not have to do anything about the Middle East. You might say, hey, you know what? I'm going to secure a trade agreement with Central America. I might try to become friends over here with a closer friends with India over here. You might be dealing with a civil war in Africa. This could go completely up in flames at your leisure, and that's fine. Okay? And if you look here, the regional crisis, it's halfway there anyway. All it needs is one more. Nothing is forcing you to make any decisions to help Middle East, except some events. So some events may force you to do something. But other than that, you get to do what you want, and I love that. It's fully immersible. You're immersive in this situation. You feel like the president. And what I love the most about it, when I first opened up the book, I started reading, there's a book for getting started. It's like 4 pages long. And they even said, don't try to read everything. Don't try to understand the entire game. There's no reason for it because, they had like a little story. It was like a real president doesn't know everything when he walks into the office. He needs like his first term just to figure out what's going on. And it's true. It makes you feel better when you play this game. Like, I don't know what's going on here. So then you look at the books. It'll teach you what books to look at, where to go, and you learn it on the fly. So this game here is complicated as it is. I think it's like a 3-point something on Board Game Geek. Don't listen to that. That's just because you have to make decisions that are right decisions. As far as understanding the game, it's like a 1-point something, man. It's not that hard at all. You literally follow the books to the T. What I liked about the game, again, it is a true sandbox. I love true sandboxes. It was very immersive. I love the immersiveness of this game. Going over here and looking at these different levels and states and looking where my aircraft carriers are and my Marines are is fucking awesome. I loved it. Sorry for swearing, but I had to do it. It made me feel like I'm the commander-in-chief. I am the guy making the decision for this particular situation going on. Watching the world change as, Russia acts, then China acts. Here, just to show you, like here, you're going to roll to see who acts. And then you're going to go through this whole booklet for China or Russia. They have their own booklets. And that's going to change the whole world state around you. Good. Usually for the bad. Usually for the bad. You're going to have influence all over the place. Bases set up and issues with terrorists and stuff coming up. It was so awesome to see. because it's like a living world. Russia does its own thing, but that's not all. Once you get to here, excuse me again, Ally Rogue Group X, you're going to pull a chit, and you're going to deal with this group. Oh, this is Group A. So you're going to find a book for Group A, and that might be, I think that's United Kingdom, that's Canada, and a bunch of other dudes. They're going to do their acts. And it's not just the good guys. It'll be like North Korea. North Korea will be part of Group A. And they're going to do their stuff. And they're going to cause fights with South Korea. And you're going to be dealing with South Korea's bull crap. And it's a living map. Really, really cool stuff. Really well done. I can see why this game took a long time to build. Now, with that being said, a couple things I didn't like about the game. I have to be honest about this. Otherwise, what kind of reviewer would I be, right? If you have small children or cats or dogs in the house, all right, or angry wives that come through and don't like you playing games, this game is going to suck for you. It has so many chits. Every one of these chits means something, okay? Now, I get it. If this Russian chit goes over here, maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe you might remember, maybe you won't. But if somebody swipes this on accident, or the table knocks down, game over. Excuse me. God. I'm allergic to reviews. Whew. Alright. I feel like I'm hacking and coughing. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm usually better than this. Well, not usually. I'm usually got allergies. So if you have small children or any animals or anything going on here and they move this around a lot, you're done. Your game's over with, because this is marking serious information. Central South Asia, it's trending anti-US. The stability is going to go down. If this is gone, you don't know. That might be a big deal, especially when you have a war. Everything's interconnected very well. So you don't want to be in the dark about what's going on with this stupid game, right? Mine's currently set up in the garage. Now, I'm lucky. I have a garage. That's my garage. I can lock it. It's a detached garage. So that's my space. I have a table for my space. So, I go there. Nobody's in there. Nobody's in there except me. Okay? But for the average guy who may have like a studio apartment, who may not have the room, or an active family dad or mom, whoever plays these games, you're going to be disappointed. I don't know when you're going to be able to set this up and play without having issues. Okay? I hope everybody can play this game. It's a really good game. But man, it's really... I don't know. Now, another thing I wish I would have seen, a lot of information here. For example, economic issues, these issues here, even these. They don't move so often. I mean, they can. You get a cascading event from, your deck of cards up here. It could cause a bunch of stuff. But there's a lot of information here, specifically strategic capabilities, that don't move. It stays here all for a long time. Your presidential attributes, they don't change. Vice President, Chief of Staff, that doesn't change unless you change them yourself and you fire somebody. You cannot fire the Vice President, but you can fire the Chief of Staff, Secretary of State, and Secretary of Defense. Here, for the year, your public legislation priorities, none of these change. So why couldn't this be like more of a roll and write? Now, I know somebody would be like, well, that wouldn't look so impressive. I get it. But imagine if you get like a small book, right? Or even if they would have added this in, and made most of this like roll and write. I don't know. Oh, here, no, I should, let me, this is the board. This is the cutoff of the board, I should say. All right. A lot of this information doesn't move, man, for the whole year, maybe even 2 years. So maybe like a record-keeping book, something. Also, speaking of the chits and the tokens, now, if you saw my Europa Universalis, The Price of Power review, then you'll know, and I'm sure many of you have seen that review or have played the game already, the players' boards, they have that little part that rises. It rises up. It's like two boards in one. It has like little spaces for these different tokens. What if they made those same thing for this game, where they kind of snugly fit in? and maybe have like a little crook so you can get them out, so you can pop them out easily. Like that'd be, imagine having that. You could just set them into the board, close the board up, and then you could play this game like, a week from now or 2 weeks from now, right? I guess my rant is the big giant game is in. Everybody wants to play these big giant games, but not everybody can play these big giant games, right? So a game like this, which is an awesome single player game, it's an awesome game and it looks impressive, but if we're really being, serious here, just from an accessibility outlook, it's garbage, right? It's just too big. Not everybody can play this game. It's just too gigantic. There's too many pieces, there's too many things going on that could ruin the experience of this game. So I was thinking even, how about this? Maybe there could be a special sale of just the books for TTS. You sell the TTS, or if there's a Vassal module, here, $80. I think the game was like, 170 or 100, whatever. Here, for $80 or $60, I'll give you all the charts. There you go, play TTS. And now you can play this all day long by yourself, no problems, no issues, and you're ready to go. All right? I think when these games are getting gigantic, we need to start thinking about ways of making it easier to track and make it smaller again, right? Make Mr. President smaller again. God, I'm stupid. All right, so no, overall, I think this game was a very good game. It's a great idea. It was a long time coming. And Gene Billingsley, you should be proud of yourself. Overall, this is a monumental game. It's been all over the internet. I've been watching this everywhere. Everyone from Ardwolf to Legendary Tactics, everybody. I think, even the Player's Aid, all those guys, they've been left and right unboxing. They've been playing it. It is a phenomenal game. It's just not a game that is active dad friendly or active cat dad or dog dad friendly. If you don't have a lot of space, you have some studio apartment. I lived in a studio apartment when I was a kid. When I was younger, man, I wouldn't have a place for this. I wouldn't know where to put this. It's a game that's not very accessible for most people. I would like to see games like these be more accessible or have options. Like I said, maybe you throw in a pad of paper for roll and write, so they don't have to use this section, right? Or make it more card driven or something. Something that will help it out and make it smaller. So that's it. That's my review. I'm sticking with it. I hope you guys have a great time in your Oval Office trying to keep the world safe. Like I said, it's a great game. You're not going to be unimpressed. And if you're worried about complexity, do not worry about complexity. It is actually a very easy game. All you got to do is follow your flip book. Go to any charts that are that you have to go to. Remember, you need the charts for this game. You can't just jump into this. There's a whole lot of charts. I mean, you're chart flipping everywhere. So you need the charts. Once you get the charts going and you get into this game, you will learn the game very quickly. It doesn't take long to pick up. I'm an idiot, and I picked this game up almost immediately. And in fact, I was teaching it after the first night I got it because it's so easy. It's really, really easy. The difficulty is trying to make the right strategic choice with your powers in order to do something good for the world. So, guys, that's it. Have a good day. I hope you enjoy the review. Please like and subscribe, and if you like what you're seeing here, it really means a lot to me and helps out the War Room, and I will